Hello, fellow streamer and or content creator. What's up, everybody? My name is Francisco. Welcome back to the channel. I want to ask you a question, and I want you to type the answer in the comments below. Look at your setup right now for streaming, for YouTubing, recording videos, whatever it is. Not including like your monitors and lights, okay? But just other gear that is important to your production. Things that manage audio, your microphones, maybe, macro commands like switching scenes, for example. How many pieces of equipment do you have right now to execute all those functions? Let me know in the comments below. So here's the deal. I have three different pieces of gear that manage and control everything I just said. All right, I've got the Stream Deck Plus, the vanilla Stream Deck by Elgato, and a Focusrite 2i2 audio interface. Those three pieces of gear do a really good job of doing what they're supposed to do, right? Of managing the function that they were designed to manage. The only problem that I've had is that they take up space. They're not huge, but what if there's a way to take those three items, get rid of them, replace them with one piece of hardware, and still be able to execute on every single function that those other three pieces of gear executed on? Well, the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is the Rodecaster Duo. Let's check it out. The very first thing that the Rodecaster Duo needed to do for me as a consumer is that I needed to be sure that this microphone could power a microphone like the Shure SM7B. The SM7B is a notoriously gain-hungry and quiet microphone, and your audio interface needs to have really solid preamps in order to be able to power the microphone. Well, ladies and gents, what you've been listening to this entire video right now has been the SM7B running through the Rodecaster Duo, and I can't help but be overjoyed with the results. But it doesn't stop there. With the 2i2 audio interface, which is a fantastic audio interface, by the way, with that interface, you do get some solid preamps, and it can give the microphone the gain that it needs to be able to operate correctly. If you wanted to EQ it, add noise gates, noise suppression, a de-esser, or anything like that, you'd have to do that via software, right? You could do it in OBS, you could do it in your DAW, you can do it all sorts of different ways. With the Rodecaster Duo, however, you've got AFX processing built right into the Rodecaster Duo itself. So you're able to do EQ, noise gate, de-essing, and a whole bunch of other customizations right there on the device itself. And you can also do it in the Rode software too, but it gets even better. One thing that I've noticed for a lot of creators, and myself included some time ago, is things like EQing a microphone can be initially very intimidating for you, right? And for me, it was for me. I had no idea what I was doing at all. Rode has now simplified it. They've added presets in here. And of course, because this is a Rode product, there's a lot of presets for a lot of different Rode microphones, but Rode understands that a lot of creators out there want an SM7B, have an SM7B, use an SM7B. So of course, there is a preset for the Shure SM7B, and that's what you've been listening to right now this whole time. Now, maybe it's a little heavy on the bottom end. I'm not really sure. It's really a matter of preference at that point. But if you don't like the presets and you don't want to use the presets, you're also able to finitely customize how a microphone sounds using the AFX processing on the Rodecaster itself. You don't even have to touch software. I love that. It's great. One less step, one less layer to eliminate out of the process. And with that being said, I no longer need a different audio interface. I don't need my 2i2. As a matter of fact, I'm selling it. So problem solved. So what's next? The second thing that I needed to know for a fact that the Rodecaster Duo could do is switch scenes. I'm going to be super basic about it, and I'm going to tell you right now, it can do that. It does require a little bit of work on your part, but it's really not a whole lot, okay? So the Rodecaster Duo has 6 different smart pads on the right-hand side of the device. You can set these smart pads up to do a couple different things, one of them being MIDI controls. Basically, the setup is incredibly easy. You just assign the smart pads to be MIDI controls. You change what kind of control they are. You don't mess with the numbers. You download a MIDI plugin for OBS, and then in OBS, you just assign what control controls what. So for example, right now, I just hit this purple button right here, and it now switches me over to my PlayStation 5 scene. But if I want to go back to the camera scene, I hit my orange button, and boom, I'm back. So right there, I can switch my scenes, I can start the recording, I can start the streaming. I no longer need my vanilla Stream Deck, and that is already off the desk and gone. So now what that leaves us with is the Elgato Stream Deck Plus. And if you remember, I just said that the Stream Deck Plus, the main reason I used it was to control the audio levels for my inputs for both my stream mix and my monitor mix. Here is the only area that the Rodecaster Duo has for growth and for improvement. You can use Rode UniFi with the Rodecaster Duo. Rode UniFi is literally Rode's version of Elgato Wavelink. You're able to set in a couple of different inputs. You can set up some submixes. You can set up some routing. And at the end of the day, it handles your audio just like the Elgato Wavelink software does. The catch is, however, that Rode UniFi does not have 100% integration with the Rodecaster Duo, and I am praying for that to happen because it's not a bad setup right now. It works and it's working great for me. But to be able to control every single one of my inputs with the faders, with the sliders here on the Rodecaster Duo would be phenomenal. At the moment, the way I have things set up is one slider controls all of my input and output levels for all of my different audio input sources via Rode UniFi. So what this means is that if I want to adjust the volume of my PlayStation 5 audio, I have to go into Rode UniFi and use my mouse to then either increase the volume or decrease the volume. Now that's not necessarily too much of a hassle because for the most part, once you know and once you've got your levels set up the way you like them, you're not going to need to mess with them too much. This is the only drawback that I have so far is that there's not direct 100% integration with Rode UniFi and the Rodecaster Duo, and for that sense, the Rodecaster Pro 2, Rodecaster Pro, etc. But it's still manageable and it works. And I've been using it this whole time and it works fantastically fine. I love UniFi. I think UniFi has made some really good improvement in its ability to be a stable piece of software, and it executes on what it's supposed to just fine. So with that taken into consideration, the Rodecaster Duo for me has now replaced the Stream Deck Plus, and the Stream Deck Plus is no longer on my desk. It's gone. In conclusion, if you were to go out there and buy a Stream Deck Plus, vanilla Stream Deck, and a 2x2 audio interface by Focusrite, you're going to spend $530 plus tax. If you go out there and buy a Rodecaster Duo, you're going to spend $500 plus tax. With taxes included, you're going to save yourself a good bit of change. And let's just assume, for all intents and purposes, that you were going to go out there and buy those 3 pieces of gear to begin with. If you want your desk space to be cluttered and full of hardware, that's entirely up to you. But if you're trying to find a solution that takes all those functions from all those different devices down to one piece of hardware and one software, one program, one app, the Rodecaster Duo is 100% it. I was very skeptical and apprehensive when I bought it. I was very worried that it wasn't going to work the way I thought it would. And ladies and gents, it works flawlessly. And the one thing I'll tell you, because when you look at the cost, it's not that big of a difference. I will tell you that my mic audio has never sounded better. On mic audio alone, I would recommend the Rodecaster Duo over any other audio interface. Then you take into consideration that you can set up MIDI controls to switch scenes. Then you take into consideration that it does work with Rode UniFi, not 100% integrated, but it does work, and you're able to route and manage the input levels for different audio sources for your streams or for your YouTube videos. This is a no-brainer. If you're gonna go out there and spend $530+ on 3 different pieces of equipment, just spend the $500 and have one of the absolute best pieces of content creation gear I have ever owned on your own setup. I hope this video was informative and helpful, ladies and gents. I will again be doing some more deep dive into the Rodecaster Duo as I get more time to learn it a lot more, because I want to give you great information. If you have any questions about the functionality of the Rodecaster Duo, please sound off in the comments below. Until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to one another. Peace out.